Hey y'all, Trapper Bob. We're out in the trapping shed, obviously. Give you a look at what I got hanging. Finished fur. These are my top ones and my otter. These 3 coyotes here, I kind of trying out a new knife and put some holes in it. They're really good coyotes. And then I got 3 coon, 4 coon. I'm still going to send everything off and get tanned. I was just kind of keeping it separate. Got some pretty good holes in the belly side and up close to the back. I'll still be able to use them to make hats, mittens. I'm having 4 pair of women's mittens made out of coyote, but that won't be ready for a while. I was asked to do a video on skinning. So the raccoon videos people put out, they're all pretty much the same. Same with the coyotes. I think they're pretty much all the same. I don't have anybody here to hold my camera on my phone, so I will set it up the best I can and see what I can do. I'm going to skin the coyote I got this morning. Turns out it had really good guard hairs on the neck. It was just dark. So it's a lot better coyote than I thought it was. And it didn't have any burrs in it, cockaburs or nothing. So that's telling me they're staying out of the area that I got my cable restraints. Because there's some cockaburs and stuff in there. But I was surprised to get it this morning. I'm hoping that's a sign that they're going to move back into the area, since deer season let up and I'm pretty much the only one that's out there anymore. But we'll see. So I'm going to do what I can and try to walk through step by step. You can't even see it. Where are we at here? Where the hell is the coyote? Oh, right there. Alright, let me move the camera down a little. A couple buckets of beaver meat I got made up for trapping. I thought I was going to get a big trap line in. So first and foremost, gloves. I use GloveWorks black nitrate gloves. They're a little stronger and it helps keep out some of the stuff that your regular gloves aren't going to keep out. I wear 2 gloves on my knife hand, 1 glove on my other hand. I should probably have 2 on each. An apron, because you are going to get dirty. Maybe get a little blood on you when you're pulling the hide. Now, I'm not real fast at this, but so this may be a long video. But I'm going to do what I can and explain things as I go. One of the first steps after I got my gloves and apron on is I go to the coyote, I brush it out. I use a fur handling brush. I was using this I got at Walmart. Worked just fine, but I wanted something a little better. That works really good. I can put crank on it when I'm trying to get the burrs out and it doesn't bend the teeth or break them. So on the belly, you can see on the back legs you got your belly fur, and then you got your line of red fur. You want to make your initial cut right along this line where the 2 fur colors separate. So that's what I'm going to do. And you make a cut right below the knee all the way around. There's a tendon right here. You do not want to cut the tendon. Makes it a real pain in the butt to skin them after that. So I cut around. When I get to the tendon, I kind of pull the fur up a little bit. Grab another knife. Should have made sure my knives were sharp. Generally sharpen them after skinning a few. I make that cut all the way around. Careful not to cut that tendon. And then take your knife, run it right down that line where the color changes. And I generally go all the way across. And then I get up here. I've already got the tendon showing, so I don't have to worry about cutting it. And I cut around. Got it loose. Then I take the skin down a little bit, because sometimes I cut a little deep and get into the meat. You want to kind of avoid that if you can. So I'll skin around the leg. Kind of pull the fur down. And you get a good enough that you can get a grip on it. I just grab it and pull it down. And then you're going to get a tendon every time. Just come in, kind of cut the tendon, separate it, give her a pull down, and then I come back here to the vent, cut up around the vent to your initial cut, both sides. Then I come under it, cut out, and while I'm here, I'll cut down the tail a little. Try to give myself a little start on the tail. And as I'm pulling the coyote over here, there's another little tendon. I just very carefully, because it's real easy to cut the fur here, very carefully come around. See, I made a little nick there. And then you come around to the belly side, pull it down. This being a male, we're obviously going to have the genitals to deal with, which isn't a big deal. Now I got this leg pulled down. I'll raise this leg up, put him up on the gambrel, right where I got the cut, and then I come back in, touch the cut up a little bit, because I sometimes have a tendency to get the fur in with it. And then I'll follow my initial cut down. Same as this leg. Skin it out a little bit. Get away from the meat, because I make deep cut. Try to get away from the tendons and the meat. Makes fleshing a little easier. And then I come around the top of the leg, because there's some pretty good tendons up there that hold it. Once I get them cut a little, I grab it, give it a good pull, and she comes right down. Belly side down. couple little tendons here. When you pull it, you always want to cut towards the meat. Don't cut towards the fur. Put your knife edge towards the meat, so then you're less likely to cut the hide. I always have a tendency to put a few nicks in the rear end right here. They're small, not a big deal. Making the hats out of them, they'll get covered up or they'll get sewn shut when I get the hats made. Pull it down. Now you're getting down near the tail. Take a piece of rebar, run it through under the tail, and kind of pull down and separate it a little bit from the carcass. And then I kind of skin down the tail a little bit, get it going. There's some pretty good tendons, so you kind of want to work down the tail a little bit. Get your tail stripper, put it on the big notch, and give it a pull. There we go. Pull it out. Then I use a gut hook. Run the tail out, open it up. That way when you flesh, you can get whatever's left on it. Then I give it a little pull, kind of break it away from the carcass. Come around to the belly side. Now, you got the testicles right here. I'm going to make a cut right under the testicles. Pull it out and just kind of work down. You can kind of see, work right above his penis. Oops, a little bit of a belly. Then you cut his cut the hole out for the penis, and now you're good to go. Get this broke away from the back a little bit more. Just kind of work down. This is where a good sharp knife comes in handy. This is a starting knife, but I do a lot of skinning with it. Radio's doing funny things. Oh, what's going on? Looks like we got some damage. I have a hole in the hide, so I don't think he got shot. Now at this point, I'm going to raise it up and get as high as I can with it. Now I got leverage, I can pull down on the hide. I kind of curl it up a little and then pull down. Spin it, curl and pull. I need a skinning machine. And pull. I'm getting old. And then I'll just take and cut around, work my way down the belly, in the back. Now take and get rid of the front feet. You can feel the ankle right here. Cut right there, right behind the pad. Cut through, you're right in the joint. Come around the fur. Make sure you get a good cut on the fur, and it pops right off. usually. Same thing with the other leg. Cut right behind that top paw. Get a good cut on the fur. Pops right out. Little blood. Tore my gloves, so I'm gonna put on a fresh glove. These gloves run about $25 a box of 100. I'll put a second glove on. I do go through a lot of gloves. Alright, now we're set. Run my knife through the sharpener here real quick. You always want a good sharp knife. Now I'm grabbing the hide, pull it out, just work my way down, always cutting towards. See, you can nick it real easy. Just kind of just cut that film between the hide and the I'll have to sew that one up. Just a little pull. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So I'll turn. Here's a look. You're right at the shoulder. And what I'll do now is take a piece of rebar, run it through here, into here, pull it down, and then that allows me to do the front legs a little easier. My pellet. Shot it on this side, and it went through and lodged in the hide on this side. Shot it in the heart. For some reason, 2 shots to the head didn't kill it. And I don't see how. Oh well, that's through now. I'll get it out of the hide. Anyway, let me get the legs stripped down. There we go. Get that shoulder joint showing. Same on both sides. Get that shoulder joint showing. There we go. Now we're cooking in Crisco. Take your rebar, shove it above the hide, and then just push down. It's kind of tough. Get a good push, get it started. Come over the other side, do the same thing. And then there's some tendons. I generally pull it up, put a little tension on the tendons, go around the leg, cut them little tendons. Give it another good push. Generally it comes right down. One more time. Third time's the charm. There we go. So now I got the legs on. So now I got a lot of hide. So I generally wrap it around me because we're getting to the head. Give it a good pull. Get down to the ears. And then you cut the ears. This is what cable restraints do. Kind of rough the neck up a little bit. No big deal. Comes right off when you flesh. Doesn't hurt the coyote. This is not a life-ending injury by any means. Okay, we're above the ears. Feel where the ears are. Make a cut. Go around the ears. Get some of the tendons around the jaw. Ear. Cut. Alright, cut down the ears. Now I'm going to give it another pull. Get down to the eyes. Okay, we're getting close to the eyes. I'm not going to show this, it's a little graphic for YouTube. Find your eye, cut out a good eye. Get your other eye. Make a good zip. There's your eyeball. Give it a good cut. Come around. Bring it down to your jaw. Open the jaw up. I generally put my finger in the jaw once I got it open. And then I just follow it down the nose, down the snout. Now, as soon as I'm making hats, or even if I was selling to the fur buyer, I would just cut the bottom lip off. I don't use it on the hats. So I just skin down the snout. Cut down to the nose, and just cut the cartilage right off the nose. And there's your coyote. There's your skinned coyote. Now what I do, I take it outside to the hydrant. I'll wash it down real good, flip it fur side out. Wash that real good, rinse it real good, because you always get a little bit of blood, but it also kind of dresses the fur up a little better. And it keeps the, for me, it keeps the hide moist for when I'm fleshing. I think it kind of helps a little bit. So there it is. Hope I taught you guys something. We'll talk at you later. Trapper Bob out.